Hello and welcome to the ASLM podcast, where we explore the pulse of health systems with a spotlight on laboratory science in Africa and across the globe. I am your host, Nelly Rwenji, from the African Society for Laboratory Medicine. In our last episode, we gained invaluable insights into the role of academia and the mechanics of establishing technical working groups. Today, we are zooming into a fundamental question: budgets, how they are developed, managed, and optimized. We will also delve into the dynamics of inclusivity, of stakeholders, and the critical challenge of attracting and retaining skilled personnel in our health systems. To guide us through this rich and important discussion, we are joined by a distinguished panel of experts from across the continent. Dr. Augustine Ondeme from the Central Region, Honorable James Sakwa from the Eastern Region, Dr. Jihene Hellal from the Northern Region, Professor Mohamed from the Northern Region, and Dr. Mabutsetsa Joseph from the Southern Region. A very warm welcome to all our guests and to you, our listeners. Let's begin with Honorable James Sakwa, who brings a vital perspective on the matter of budgets. We spoke about the 40% that was available, but we are saying it is not enough. What do we do?
I think Dr. Ali talked about national member states involvement.
Yeah.
If we do proper advocacy, like we are professing now, then we'll have countries putting in money to supplement what is available at this level. Because there is what the Africa CDC can do, then there is what must be done by the country. So if we advocate well and people talk about biosafety, biosecurity, then relevant ministries under One Health should be able to factor in some money in their budgets so that the national budget captures something to do with biosafety, biosecurity. Another aspect we normally forget is about the ministries of defense and the police.
Yeah.
They must also come on board because One Health involves everybody. Because you have the defense, biodefense, then you have the enforcement, and we need all these stakeholders. So borrowing from South African region, it is everybody's efforts at continental level, national level, ministerial level, all the way to all arms of government. If we did that, then we'll have the resources to supplement what Africa CDC has.
Yeah, so I'm curious for the Southern region, did you get any additional budget?
Of course, we did. I'm going to make an example with my country, Lesotho. And I think it's going to support the advocacy part that is looking to. What we did is to sit down and develop a strategy. We call different stakeholders, we sit down, we sensitize them, and when they are aware that, okay, the country is about to embark on a certain initiative, then we're able to get support in terms of releasing the relevant offices, the partners in terms of the WHOs and other available donors in the country. We're able to be part of the deliberation. We conducted a situation analysis where we identify our strengths, we map who does what and how can we innovate or be innovative in such a way that we don't duplicate. We just make sure that, okay, this part is already being covered and the resources that we have can be geared towards a certain area. After that, we had a strategy that is costed. We knew what is that we wanted to do and what we have, the gaps that were existing. So as a country, we were able to say, we need this much this year. Next year, we need so much. So in the absence of a lot of us, the likes of WHO was able to engage with partners beyond our reach. The ministries were able to, even during the budget preparations, we are able to advocate for or lobby for the funding or the investment towards addressing the gaps that we identified. Part of that was the training. We realized that we didn't have expertise. So we were able to cop in different players and they got their hand in the cake and we were able to push this thing together. So once you have a strategy, it's your form of advocacy. You know how much you need and you are able to report back to whoever you're working with because you have measurable indicators. So it's very easy to advocate once you have the strategy. And make sure that whenever you convene such meetings, one day call PS from a different ministry to officiate. Another day, so that they own it. Even in the statement, in the remarks, make sure that she or he is well briefed. He understands what is done there, and make sure that whenever there are achievements, report back to them, so that they are up to pace with what the implementation is achieving. In that way, you're able to move as a team, not just one department moving faster than others. So I think we need strategies.
Yes, can I jump in this important point regarding the inappropriate budgeting? Because first of all, we need to apply the self-reliance approach. So each country should get its responsibility to including the biosafety and biosecurity strategy within the national plan for the health. So, and there's another issue is that each country should go on the business model of the biosafety and biosecurity, because we need self-reliance. We need this field generate money by itself. Because if we are talking about the sustainability, you cannot depend on the external fund. And we see now in this day, in current days, the problem from the USAID. And a very important organization like the USAID and the PEPFAR, and how people suffering because they fully depend on the external funder. And we should be learning the lessons now. We should working on our continent and together, and also at the level, at the national level, at the local level. So by this way, we can seeking of the sustainability. And the sustainability also including plus the financial support and financial strategy, including also the political will. And this occurred by the advocacy and to get the commitment and buy-in from the decision maker. And the third element for the sustainability is the workforce or the professional. And I think by these three elements, we can achieve the sustainability within the biosafety and biosecurity field.
Yeah, so, and that is good, because speaking about the workforce,
from
now the numbers that we have and the need of us having more people, not just advocating, but doing the actual work.
Yes.
So how do we get from, this, it's a good number, 350, plus is good, but how do we scale up?
From ECC, we have a strategy. As my colleague has said, we have the subject matter experts. Now, people who go to different levels are paired with mentors in projects for the next level. So that the mentor now improves the graduate to be better and aspire to be a subject matter expert. So then from there, we want to move to practice. After they have qualified, we want to push that they practice what they have learned. That way, we have a sustainable workforce that is homegrown within the continent. And this pairing is done considering language, the subject area, and then the experience of the expert to try and mentor these graduates to the levels that they are. And from where I come from, Masinde Muliro University, we are looking at a situation whereby we are going to have fresh graduates in the next 2 years. They might not have the experience. Still, we need to pair them with subject matter experts to advance their capacities and even practice, so that should they choose to do masters, then they know which area they'll be focusing on. So we as ECC, we are trying to ensure that these graduates are mentored. Remember, I talked about consciousness. You might be an expert, but you don't know. So once you come to us, we up the consciousness, then you choose a particular area, we pair you with an expert. When you graduate, then we want you to actually practice what you have learned. That is why each person has a project that enables them to graduate.
And also regarding the workforce, I would look to focus on the member of the Africa CDC, because as mentioned, 10% of the workforce. This means that we're missing 90%. So if we are talking about 2 or 3 persons now currently working in the initiatives, we need at least 20% to cover this 55%. And we already have the subject matter expert, and we already know the expert. We have list of the expert along the continent. So we need to get the advantage of the first phase to establish and get this list of the experts. And but these require more budget More budget need more buy-in from the leaders of the African Union. Yes.
Maybe just to add one thing on that, we need incentives. Let's have incentives so that we attract the appropriate skills.
And retain.
That is very critical. And we need to be innovative such that the Center of Excellency, at the minimum, we know that they have to have so many intakes, such that we know that at the minimum, the Center of Excellence is going to have 2 intakes per a certain cadre. Then if we multiply that by, we are able to get the number that we're looking for. We will see whether when we send the invitations, people are not forthcoming or not. And then we'll address that by engaging them and trying to raise that with them that, look, we need more of your people to be submitted. So we need to incentivize that and try to be very purposive and plan, set indicators with the Center of Excellence.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. We have gained valuable insights and drawn inspiration from our expert panel representing diverse voices from across the continent. A heartfelt thank you to each of our guests for sharing their time, expertise, and perspectives. In our next episode, we explore the strategies we can use to increase the number of participating countries from 7 to 15, a bold and exciting step forward. Until then, remember to download and share this podcast with your networks. Thank you for supporting our collective efforts toward a healthier Africa. From me, Nelly Rwenji, your host, stay safe, stay informed.